and in today's class we are going to discuss about composition writing. We all know writing composition is very important, and when we talk about composition, I want you to recall those days of your class 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th, wherein your teachers were asking you to write different composition, may it be in English language or Hindi or any of the regional languages. The purpose of making you write the composition was to improve your writing skills, to improve your thought process, to improve the way you can arrange the logical sentences in proper order so that you can write and you can share the information even in written form to the readers in apt manner. So please remember that when we talk about composition writing, of course, the compositions are lengthy. Sometimes it may run in a couple of pages, sometimes they are too lengthy. So when we talk about a simple composition, they are broadly categorized into a couple of paragraphs, that is 6 paragraphs. The first thing that we do is we identify what type of composition are we writing. So let us understand what are the different types of composition that we use in our day-to-day life, particularly when we are talking or when we discuss the same with the management students or the students of BCom, BMC or BCA. So when we talk about or when we discuss about composition writing says there are 4 types of composition. The first one is expository. Now, when you are writing something in order to expose, in order to bring the information or in order to bring the content known to the people who are unaware, who are not knowing about the content or about the information, the articles or the composition that are written in order to bring that new idea, innovative thought, innovative approach to the audience is called as expository composition. Under the segment expository composition, please remember, you're exposing the idea, you're exposing your thought, you're exposing the newness of the topic. And when you expose, people will be quite excited to know more. So therefore, do include evidences, do include facts and figures wherever required and necessary. Do include your approach, your research. That is again very important. You are exposing something new, and the people want to know more and more about it. So how are you going to suffice their need? How are you going to fulfill their inquisitive nature? So for that, you need to identify the content that you're going to present. So the first thing that you're going to talk or discuss would be related to introduction, followed by the way you're going to unveil or the way you're going to turn or flip the pages one after the other. That is how you're going to present each new topic in front of the other so that they can connect their thoughts, they can understand what is it that you are trying to share with them and how they can use it in their day-to-day life. Expository compositions are generally written by the research scholars. Expository compositions are again written by the marketing people, the one who are into promotion, the one who are into advertisement, the one who are into the technical team wherein they are developing new app, new software, new hardware, and they are using it in order to make our life much easier. So please remember, when you are writing anything wherein the people are unaware about the topic and you are exposing it, you are bringing it to the understanding of the common man, such kind of compositions are called as expository composition. The next is descriptive composition. When we talk about descriptive compositions are those where you describe. When you describe something, that means you are a person who has either experimented or experienced. Because of your experiment or because of your experiences, you are trying to or you are able to describe it in a better way. It could be the compositions that are written by the travelers, generally the travelogue that you read, maybe the experience of a chef or probably a person who travels from one place to the other place. It could be related to any place, it could be related to any person, it could be related to any object, it could be related to different things that are available that we can use. It could be any materialistic or non-materialistic, but try to understand that the person is describing his or her experiences. So descriptive compositions are again very important because these are like writing review to the product that you have used. And again, as I said, that these will be used by all the professional students. You name it. You can call it as a student of BBA or BCA or BCom or BMC can use it for his or her references, because they need to know about the feedback. They need to know about the review. They need to know about the experiences of their client and customer, so that they can add more features, they can add more newness, they can add on more creativity and innovative or innovation to their product. So when you describe about the experiences, when you are describing about your experiment related to a particular place, related to a particular person, related to a particular object, such kind of compositions are called as descriptive. Then comes the next, that is argumentative. When we talk about argumentative compositions are those compositions wherein we are having different opinion. We don't restrict it or we don't limit it to only one particular opinion, wherein we invite others to share even their opinion. Say, for example, when we talk about usage of mobile phone, it can have advantages. Simultaneously, it can also have disadvantages. When we talk about the circumstances of using the mask, it can be good for health, it can also be bad for health. So when we talk about the different opinion, or when we are talking about the composition wherein there are different opinions, there are different mindsets with which people are sharing their opinion or people are presenting their thoughts and opinion, we call it as argumentative composition. Please remember, when we talk about argumentative, people have their say in different ways. There won't be only restricted or there won't be any limitation on one single opinion, option, or thought. The audience or even the writer will present his opinion, which can be again related to both advantages and disadvantages, pros and cons, merits and demerits. There will be different opinion. It will be a combination of both the positive as well as the negatives. And finally, when we talk about narrative, narrative is written particularly when you are either talking about the fact or you are presenting a hypothetical situation, a fiction, but you are narrating it in your own words. You're trying to bring in that visualization. You are trying to add on imagination in the visualization or imagination in the mind of the audience or in the mind of the reader, so that they can move or they can start their journey along with your communication. So when we talk about narratives, narratives are generally presented by the people when they are sharing something related to a certain event, something related to certain incidents or accidents, even related to certain things that had happened in the past or is planned to be is going to happen, or something that is planned to happen in the near future. So narration is when you are having a theme, when you know that there are different people and how do they react, how do they overreact, or how do they take, or how do they understand the importance of the different situation. So narration could be helpful again for all the people, because of the narration you can get or you can bring in the newness in your thought. You can also again add on creativity in your thought process. Because of narration, people will understand about the product, about the services, about the people, about the firm, about the organization, or about the institution in better way. Please remember, narrations and narratives are very, very important. Most of the time when you are preparing a website, you should always start with about page or home page. Why do we start with home page or about page? Because it narrates about who the people are. So narration again is very important when we are talking about the technical experts, and even if we are talking about the features. So for example, when we go to purchase any of the mobile handset, or when we want to purchase any of the consumer durable, what do? We look for the manufacturer. We identify who the manufacturer are and what is their like how well they have presented their ideas or thoughts, how well they have tried to convince the audience, whether they tried to fulfill the requirement of the customer or clients in a proper way or not, whether they were able to bridge the gap of the expectation that is raised by the customer or client by manufacturing exactly the product that is required by the customer or client. So keep this in your mind that narratives are again very, very important. They help us to create that ambience. It helps us to create or bridge the gap between the user and the producer. So these are the 4 different types of compositions. As I said, that these compositions, when written, they are to be written in proper paragraph. As discussed in the last class, when we talk about paragraph, need to remember unity, coherence, and logical arrangement. These are very, very important. So the first thing that you're going to present when you write a composition is you're going to introduce the topic. Identify what kind of topic you are presenting and also know what kind of composition that you're going to write. If you are talking about narration, or if you are writing something related to narrative, if it is fact-based, of course, it requires certain evidences and proof. But if it is hypothetical, then you can also have the information shared in the hypothetical manner. You can forecast the things. You can present the forecasting of the information, could be in tabulated form. So keep this in your mind, or always have this in your mind while writing the composition. Introduction of the topic is very important, because that will set a pace, or that is again set a good understanding between the writer as well as the reader of that particular composition, to identify what is it that the writer is willing to convey to the audience or to the reader. Details of each and every information, or detailed explanation of whatever we are trying to present, whether it is for or against, whether it is related to merits or demerits, whether it is related to features, whether we are talking about the benefits. So every detailed explanation should be there. Wherever you require supportive documents, do include it. Wherever you require any kind of evidences and proofs, facts and figures, do include it. If you want to present certain pictures, or if you want to add certain graph or certain diagrams, to insert them over here. And then the supportive documents, as I said, they are very, very important. And finally, conclusion. Conclusion plays very important role, because every time when you compose something, people want to reach up to a conclusion. What conclusion did you derive after working on it? Say, for example, if you are writing an expository composition, what is the benefit that the person is going to derive, and how well can it be used by the person whosoever is going to use it? So that conclusion should be there. Even when you are describing what is good, what is bad, and then conclusion should be there. Even while argumentation, when you are argumenting, you have to present the conclusion, because otherwise that will create ambiguity in the thought. Dilemma will never be liked and appreciated by the people. Confusion or something wherein there is an interrogative question that it is up to you, you now need to think. This kind of ambiguity, this kind of confusion state, nobody likes to have. They want the clarity. They want to understand what is good, what is bad, whether they should apply or not, whether they should approach it or not, whether they should encourage it or not, whether they should reject it or accept it. So there has to be a clarity, and that clarity comes only when you present your conclusion. So always remember, whenever you are writing composition, identify the type of composition. What type of composition are you going to write? Are you going to write expository? Are you going to write descriptive? Are you going to write augmentative? Or are you presenting narrative composition? After identifying the type, you need to remember the paragraph must be properly divided and bifurcated. Introduce the topic first, explain the topic in proper paragraph, try to add on the supportive document, supportive evidences and proof wherever required, and finally conclude it. So with this, we end up our this chapter called as business writing, wherein we discussed about the business messages. How do we write the business messages? What are the tone that we apply while writing the business message? We understood how do we write a paragraph, and finally, what are the different types of composition, and how can we bring in efficiency and effectiveness in writing the composition. That's all in today's class. We'll see you all next time with another topic. Till then, take care of yourself and have a very good ahead.